Most people believe that if you spend money on improvements to your property, the market value of your property will go up by the cost of the improvement they add. But that is not always the case. Today, we're talking about the principle of contribution, how it works, and what you need to know for the real estate exam. Hello everybody, it's Zach here from RealEstateLicenseWizard.com. Today we're talking about the principle of contribution. The principle of contribution states that the actual worth of an improvement is what contributes to the property market's value, not the cost of the improvement. Worth and cost are not always the same thing when it comes to real estate. For example, a pool could add $5,000 to the value of a home, but cost $10,000 to build. There are also times when an improvement can add more value than the cost. For example, adding an additional room can be an easy, simple job to complete for handy people. So maybe the cost is $1,000, but the value it adds is $2,000. Contribution is most commonly applied to determine how renovation and property changes may affect property's overall cost. The principle of contribution is one of the many appraisal principles appraisers use to determine fair market value for a property. Appraisers can accurately determine a fair price for properties using the contribution principle, economic principles, other principles, real estate market trends, and more. Now let's do a contribution principle example. So let's say appraiser Jack was hired to prepare a feasibility study for a 12-unit apartment complex in which the owner is considering putting in a swimming pool. Which basic principle of appraising should Jack use? Well, the answer for that question is contribution. Jack should use contribution. Contribution is most commonly applied to determine how renovation and property changes may affect the property's overall cost. In this case, since the owner wants a feasibility study, contribution would need to be used. Swimming pools are a typical contribution example. Now, there are factors that affect the principle of contribution and how much weight it has in the appraisal process. For example, labor costs, land costs, insurance, demand, and many other circumstances. An excellent example of how this is applied is to compare a pool in Florida versus somewhere like North Dakota. The pools may cost the same to be installed, but the value derived from the pool in Florida would be much larger than in some places like North Dakota. So the principle of contribution does not have to be taken literally in many circumstances, because obviously adding something like a pool to a property has its benefits. If your family really wants to stay cool in the summer heat and you're adding some value to your home, why not? Generally speaking, if you want to add something to your property that increases the property's worth, then usually it's a good idea. But you have to keep in mind that cost does not always equal the return on investment. So now let's talk a little bit about contribution in the real estate industry. So the principle of contribution is used in real estate investing, as the whole purpose of investing is to make the most money possible. Remember, as an investor, it's your job to maximize income, benefits, and capital. So it's essential to consider the contribution principle whenever possible. Now, contribution relates to other areas of real estate as well. A large portion of real estate appraisal includes using different aspects of contribution. Primarily, the three approaches to value consider the principle of contribution as one of the main factors, which is more than likely why you're watching this video today. So what do you need to know for the real estate exam? Well, when it comes time for your exam, you must be familiar with what we discussed today. Remember, the principle of contribution states that the actual worth of an improvement is what contributes to the property's market value, not the cost of the improvement. Understand how contribution relates to the three approaches to value, real estate investing, and the real estate industry, and you'll be good to go come exam day. Still need help with real estate valuation and appraisal? Click the video here for more, and like always, make today magical. See ya next time.